Jeff, let's take a couple questions here. Dave has got a good question here. It's about being back on the baseline when a ball lands close to him on the baseline. You know, should he defend it by backing up and hitting the ball kind of more waist high, creating some space by backing up, or should it be more where it's kind of a pickup, you know, kind of a short hop where you don't give up court position?
Well, you know, that a little bit depends on your opponent and where you're at in it. But first, I'd say if you can stay that tight on the baseline, if you have the skill level, and say the best guy ever, I think, to be able to play that ball was probably Andre Agassi himself. I've never seen anybody be able to hold on to the baseline as tightly as him and not give an inch and crack a ball on the short pickup. You know, not a lot of guys can do that, though. I think what you might find then is that by crowding the court that way, you might be actually creating more of a problem than trying to hold on to the court. Does that make sense?
It does.
If I'm crowding, the baseline like that, I'm now, if that's happening often, I'd probably say that you're crowding the court as opposed to actually being in a solid, controlled ground stroke position.
Yeah, I think one of the things that what we're talking about here is that, you know, if we play a ball into the guy's kind of happy zone right here, that's not, it's not likely to produce an offensive opportunity for us. And so if you get on the baseline or slightly inside it, you know, that's kind of a tough position. So I would always recommend you stay a foot or two behind. However, if you do put one out here where you're not 100% sure that you're going to be getting a great opportunity, you know, I don't really have a problem getting on the baseline. And if the guy comes out here and he's even pulled wide and plays it pretty deep, I don't have a problem here, Jeff, kind of stepping up here early, playing a transitional volley into the open court,
yeah,
and then moving in, and moving in. How do you feel about that?
I think it's a great play, and again, it goes back to being able to monitor the ball you just hit, and being able to recognize is the quality of that ball. Does that justify me making that move?
Right.
To do that. So I tend to think, you know, when I see it, I can see the guy starting to stretch, and he's not going to be on both solid feet when he's making contact, and then that's my cue when I know for sure I've got the opportunity. Otherwise, I tend to I'll hit. You know, we've got the guy stretched out a little bit. I may recover back to where the serving box is right there. You know, the S. I may recover back there, but mentally, I got my eyes wide open. I am looking, and I'm on the hunt for the short ball in my head, but I'm not going to crowd the court because I don't want to give up that that little short hop at my feet, and all of a sudden I've hit the offensive shot, and now here I am struggling with a defensive pickup, and the tables turn on me in one ball,
right.
And for me, I hate that.
I agree. Hey, let's take another question here from Jamie.
All right.
Jamie's asking, you had mentioned in singles about your target for the first couple of games when you're returning serve. You like to go back down the middle and have it kind of land somewhere in this area here till you really kind of get a beat on that serve. What about in doubles? Have you got specific target or a target that you like to return serve to the first couple of games in that doubles match?
The middle of the cross-court court. So we just take that cone from singles and we put it out in the middle of that half, right about in there somewhere, and that's my target. And I can't let the net man be a distraction for me staying focused on getting a beat on the serve and cracking the ball to that spot. What can happen is in doubles, if I give the guy at the net a little too much respect to begin with, I start trying to avoid him rather than actually hitting the ball to a target. And so what happens is If my target is to avoid the net guy, I'll be successful normally 100% of the time by probably hitting the ball wide because I don't want him to touch the ball. And so I'm successful. He didn't touch the ball, but I just hit the ball 2 feet wide.
Right.
So if I can get grooved in and hit, again, a higher quality ball to a safer target, at least if he makes his move, he's going to have to handle a well-struck ball. And over time, maybe he can't after a set or so is going on. Maybe his volley starts to break down a little bit. I've got to find out whether he has the foundational capability to produce good volleys off of well-hit balls over and over and over again. And maybe the answer is no. But I need to be confident in being able to hit that target over and over and over again.
Well, this gets back to the drill that you talked about with playing the shadow doubles. And, you know, as the returner, I mean, yeah, we're working on the server in the shadow doubles drill, the cones off the court, but we're working on, you know, maybe we're working on, or he's working on his first volley, his transitional half volley. But at the same time, you know, if I'm the returner, I'm always looking, can I hit whatever service hit to me to this corner? And so you have to practice this, you know, and once you get grooved on that in practice, and, you know, this is not like we go out Thursday for 20 minutes and work on it. You know, you got to go out Thursday for the next 6 months and work on this to really have it translate into when you play matches. Jeff, we got time for one more question. I'm running over time here, and I apologize for taking up more of your time than we originally had talked about. Here's really a good question here, and it's Perry asks, you know, when he hits a kind of a setup deep ball into an opponent's corner, anticipating kind of a weak response, and moves in, decides, all right, this is gonna you know, translate into a good situation, moves in, and let me kind of diagram it here. We'll have Perry as the server, and let's say, you know, loops in a deep ball here, returner backs up a little bit. What Perry's question is, you know, how far in does he go before he wants to get an aggressive court position, but he doesn't want to obviously overdo it to where it's an easy lob over him. And, you know, I always say this is not where, it's when, meaning that you come in and you got to put the brakes on with that split step right as they're making contact. So wherever you are in the court, I think too often what I see, and talk about this, Jeff, is players hit that great approach, or they hit the great kind of, you know, deep ball the corner, and it's just a non-stop charge, and then they get into you know, too close to the net or too aggressive a position. Right,
and I think that's exactly right, and I think that's the subtlety of the approach and the split step, the subtlety of serve and volley is the timing of the split step is probably one of the most difficult things to really learn and learn it well. So in answer to the question is I get in as far as I can until that guy's about to make contact. So if I've made this decision, how early or late have I decided that the quality of my ball warrants me doing this? If it's a late decision, I may not be as far as where you have the S right now. If it's an early decision, because I felt it, I hit that ball, I knew what I was doing with that ball, I cracked it into the corner, I can see I've got the guy on the run a little bit, and I'm off and running, then I may make it to the service line. I may even make it a step in beyond that, depending if I've rolled it out there to the back end where there's a little more air time on the ball, which means I'm going to get an extra step in maybe. But it comes down to that,
if this player's back in the court, and, you know, not stepping in to kind of take it right off the short hop, if they're backing up, doesn't that give you another step or two to get closer before they make contact?
Absolutely, and like you said, now I need to gauge my split step so I'm not just a bull in the china shop, and now I've overrun my volley. Where I'm no longer in control of all my faculties. I'm kind of like, you know, running wild out there because I didn't stop when the ball is about to be hit. And that becomes the key then, to be able then to just, you know, kind of surgically take the next volley and place it, you know, to the next, you know, appropriate target.
Great. Okay. Well, Jeff, listen, man, thank you so much for your time today. This has really been great. And to all of you out there who asked a question and I couldn't get to it, apologize. Feel free to send me an email either to askbrent@webtennis.net or if you want to go to the blog and leave a comment at the Players Workshop, webtennis.com/players. You'll see the post about Jeff. Feel free to leave a question there. I'll ask Jeff to step in, later today or tomorrow and respond personally.
Okay.
But guys, if you're either in Northern California or if you're traveling to Northern California to the beautiful wine country up in Napa, where Jeff teaches at the Napa Valley Country Club, make sure you bring your tennis rackets because Jeff is able to teach non-members there, and his contact information is here. His email address is there, jeff@napatennis.com. Jeff, give us a couple of minutes about the club and what's going on there.
Well, let's see. First, in May, we just put in 2 hard true clay tech courts, which is, excuse me, a great West Coast solution to a clay court. It's a carpet that goes down, and then they put the hard true over it, and it's remarkably a hard true tennis court. It's amazing. And so if you're here from the East Coast and you're pining after some clay court tennis, we have it. So that's a possibility too. If you're here in the area, we can do a lesson or just a hitting lesson down there on the clay if you like. We have some new membership promotions right now that people can contact the club, the Napa Valley Country Club, and they can find out about some of the new promotions now that are a little more affordable. So they can do that. And then on the other side of the coin, we have a new 10-cap, NapaValleyTennis.com is a new site that myself and Chris Arns, the head professional at Napa Valley Country Club, have started. That is about having your rating allow you to pick up matches here in the Valley, and we start playing a little more tennis with a mixed group rather than always playing tennis in our own little pond. We want to try and spread tennis around here a little bit more. So anyway, those are just a few things there that are going on here in the Valley, and feel free to contact me and when you're here in the Valley, and there's a bottle of wine on every tennis court whenever you go play. It's amazing here in the Napa Valley.
Isn't that incredible? Okay. Well, hey, Jeff, listen, thanks so much for your time again. Really appreciate you coming on today and spending a lot of time with us. I know that we'll want to get you back on again in the hopefully near future. And guys, again, any feedback? Always looking for your feedback as to what you enjoyed today and any kind of feedback that'll help me improve the future webcasts. Always want to hear from you. So until next time, get out there, have some fun, and have a great day, guys. Thanks very much.
Thanks, Brent.
Okay, Jeff, have a good one.